Hi, good morning. Today we're looking at loan amortization using the annuity formula, right? We're going to use this example to take us through the exercise. So we're looking at a loan of $13 million over a 30-year period at an interest rate of 9% per annum, where payments are expected to be made monthly. We should be able to do the following, which is calculate first the monthly payment, amortization schedule, the total interest over the life of the loan, interest charges in the first 12 years, interest portion of the 18th payment, and the interest portion of the 200th payment. Essential principle that we'll be working with is that the principal balance is always the present value of the remaining payments. And we use our annuity formula, present value equal payment times 1 minus 1 over 1 plus interest rate raised to the power n divided by the interest rate. All right, so firstly, the monthly payment. Since we're working with months, then everything has to be based on months. So we need to know our monthly interest rate. The interest rate is 9% per annum. So for the monthly rate, we just divide by 12, which gives us 0.0075 or 0.75%. The loan term in months, 30 years, 12 months per year. That gives us a total of 360 months. So we'll go back to our essential principle that the present value or the principal balance is always the present value of the remaining payments. So at the start, all 360 payments are remaining. So we're simplifying the present value of those remaining 360 payments, and it should give us the loan amount at the start. So here we put loan amount 13 million is equal to the monthly payment times 1 minus 1 over 1 plus interest rate raised to 360, all divided by the interest rate. And we solve for the monthly payment. Right? Taking us through the math, it gives us a monthly payment of 104,601. So $104,601. All right, next, the amortization schedule. So it's important to note that payments are first applied to interest, with the remainder of the payment going to principal. So each month we're going to be calculating the interest charge first, and then the rest of the money will go to principal. So we start with our beginning balance, which is a loan amount, 13 million. We state our monthly payment, and then we go ahead to calculate our interest charge. So interest charge is 0.75% of the principal. So for the first month, 0.75% of 13 million gives us 97,500. Since the payment is 104,601, it means that the difference of 7,101 will go to principal. So 104,601 minus 97,500 gives us 7,101. Now, since this is the amount going to principal, it means principal balance will be reduced by that amount. So for the ending principal balance, we simply say beginning balance of 13 million minus the principal payment, which is 7,101, and it gives us an ending balance of 12,992,899. So month 1 ends with a balance of 12.99 million. Month 2 begins with that balance. Right? So we'll go ahead and calculate our interest charge, 0.75% of the new principal balance, and it gives us 97,447. Right? Since the total payment is 104,601, we subtract the interest charge from the total payment, and it gives us a principal payment of 7,154. For the ending balance, we simply subtract this principal payment from the beginning balance, and it gives us a closing balance of 12,985,745. And we continue doing this for the rest of the months. All right, the total interest over the life of the loan. All right, so the loan is over a 30-year period, which is 360 months. And we know that the monthly payment is 104,601. So we simply multiply 360 months times 104,601, and it gives us a total payment of 37,656,360. So it's saying for this loan, this is the total amount that we'll be paying over the 30 years. Now, because we only borrowed 13 million, it means the rest of this money is interest. So for the interest portion of the payment, we simply subtract the loan amount of 13 million from the total payments, and it gives us a total interest charge of 24,666,360 dollars over the 30-year period. Right? So again, we look back at our essential principle. Principal balance, always the present value of the remaining payments. And we're going to use that principle for the next part of the question, which is the total interest that would have been paid in the first 12 years. Right? So the first thing we note is how much money would we have paid in 12 years. And in 12 years at 12 months per year would be 144 months. So 144 months paying 104,601 per month gives us a total of 15,062,544. Right? So we lock that down and then we move on. After 12 years, it means that the remaining payments will be 216 months. So we can find the principal balance that remains after 12 years by finding the present value of this 216 payments. Alright, so principal balance equal monthly payment times, and the power is 216, and it gives us a principal balance of $11,170,017. So if this is a principal balance after we've paid for 12 years, it means that we've paid off the difference between the loan amount and that principal balance. So the total that we have paid to principal over those 12 years would be $1,829,983. And if we know this is the amount that we have paid to principal, it means the rest of our payments would have gone to interest. So the total payments would have been 15 million, and we subtract the principal portion from that, and we get that the total interest paid in the first 12 years would be 13,232,561. Also, how much of the 18th payment will go to principal? So we go back to our amortization principle that payments are first applied to clear interest with the balance of the payments going to principal. So for the interest portion of the 18th payment, we need to know the principal balance at the beginning of that month. Right? So we'll be looking at the principal balance after we have made 17 payments. And to know that, we simply need to know how many payments remain after 17 have been made. So subtracting 17 from 360, we get that 343 payments remain after we have made 17 payments. We find the present value of those 343 payments, and it gives us a principal balance of 12,871,770. Now, if that's the principal balance at the start of the 18th month, then the interest charged for the 18th month would be 0.75% of this principal balance. And when we solve for that, it gives us an interest charge of 96,538. So if this is the amount that we'll be paying for interest in the 18th month, it means the rest of our total payment will be going to principal. So for the principal portion, we simply subtract that interest charge from the total monthly payment, and it gives us a principal payment of $8,063. All right, another similar question. How much of the 200th payment will go to principal? Right? And for the same principle, we're saying if we want to know how much of the 200th payment will go to principal, we need to first find how much would have gone to interest, knowing that the rest of the money will go to principal. So for the interest portion of the payment, we need to know the principal balance at the start of the month, which would be after we have made 199 payments. Right? So to know the principal balance after 199 payments, we simply have to know how many payments remain after 199 payments. And subtracting 199 from 360, we realize that 199 payments would remain. Sorry, 161 payments would remain, my bad. And if 161 payments remain, Then we simply find the present value of those 161 payments, and it will give us the principal balance at the start of that month. And from the calculation, we get that the principal balance at the start of that month would be 9,758,667. Right? Based on that, we can now find the interest charge for the month, which would be 0.75% of this amount, and 0.75% of the principal balance gives us an interest charge of 73,190. So if we know the interest charge, then we know the balance of the money. We'll go to principal. So subtract this interest charge of 73,190 from the monthly payment of 104,601, and we get the principal portion of that 200th payment to be 31,411. All right. So thank you very much, and have fun practicing as you seek to master the concepts.